Hello, fourth grade, and welcome to lesson 1-3. We're going to be working on comparing numbers. So we're going to be looking at the place value of different digits in a number to help us determine if a number is greater than, less than, or equal to another number. Let's go ahead and get started.
How do you compare numbers? Can you think of reasons why you would want to compare numbers? You would compare prices at different stores, compare populations of towns or cities, or compare distances. Earth is not perfectly round. The North Pole is 6,356 kilometers from Earth's center. The equator is 6,378 kilometers from the center. Which is closer to Earth's center, the North Pole or the equator?
So for this question, what they're asking us, they want to know which one's closer. So you're looking at which one has a smaller distance from the center of the Earth. So you're looking to see which number is less than the other.
Use place value to compare numbers. Write the numbers lining up places. Begin at the left and compare. When you compare numbers, why do you begin with the digits on the left?
Select your answer.
You begin comparing the digits that have the greatest place value. The digits farthest to the left have the greatest value. What do you notice about the thousands digits in both numbers? The thousands digit is the same in both numbers. Which place value should we look at next? Look at the next digit. Compare the hundreds. The hundreds digit is also the same in both numbers. The first place where the digits are different is the tens place. Compare the tens.
Now here, take a look, because this is the first spot where our digits have a different value from each other. So the thousands place was the same value. Hundreds place was the same value. But the tens place is where it was different. So over here, we know that 7 is greater than 5. 70 is greater than 50 if we're going to look at their actual place value or the value of that digit. And that's where we're going to be making our comparison. Now, you do not need to go past this point. This point is where you have to stop. You compare as soon as you get to a set of digits that are different from each other. That's where you make the comparison, and that's where you finish. So over here, looking at these numbers, because we know that 7 is greater than 5 or 70 is greater than 50, we're done. We already know that 6,378 is greater than 6,356. Or you could read it as 6,356 is less than 6,378.
Is 5 greater than 7 or is 5 less than 7? The symbol greater than means is greater than, and the symbol less than means is less than. 5 is less than 7. 5 tens is less than 7 tens. So 6,356 is less than 6,378. The North Pole is closer than the equator to Earth's center. Now you can use place value to compare very large numbers.
Is a whole number with 4 digits always greater than or less than a whole number with 3 digits? Explain.
Now, for this question, it's asking us very specifically, is a whole number with 4 digits, that means something out in the thousands, is that always greater than something with 3 digits, which is something out in the hundreds? Now, if you have more digits in one number, that number automatically has a greater value because it has an additional place value that's larger than any of the ones in your other number. So anytime you have a number that has more digits than the number it's being compared to, that number is automatically bigger. So anything in the thousands is going to be bigger than anything in the hundreds. Now we're going to jump into our guided practice, but before we do that, I'm going to go over some notes that we need for this lesson. So while going through this lesson, we took some notes and we talked about specifically what each symbol means and how we read it. So this symbol where the number is open to the left, or where the opening of this symbol is to the left. And a lot of times an easy way to remember that is to think of it like your alligator's mouth, right? They want to eat the bigger number. So it's always going to be open to the bigger number. Now, when we're reading things like this, we're always reading it the way we read any kind of writing in English. We're reading from left to right. So whatever this number is, if the mouth is open to it, we're going to say this is greater than whatever comes after it. In this instance, since it's open to the next number, we're going to say this is less than, right? Because it's turned away. This is less than whatever the next number is after it. So you can put your little alligator teeth here. So when it's open to the left, we read it as greater than, and we write it out like this. So for example, 35 is greater than 31, and that's how you read it. 35 is greater than 31. For this symbol, we can say 27 is less than 100, or 5 is equal to 5. Now, just like we were talking about, how do we decide when a number is greater than, less than, or equal to another number? Well, we line them up by place value, and we start comparing from the greatest digit, your biggest place value. If that's the same, then you look at the one that's after it. So what I did over here, we looked at the 6s in both numbers. Those were the same, so I crossed them out. The next digit to the right, the hundreds place, those were also 3s. So I crossed those out because those were the same. I circled the digit that I reached in each number where the digits were different from each other, and that was in the tens place. So as soon as you get to a digit that's different, those are the ones you compare. You do not move past that point. You're done right here as soon as you hit a difference. So 6,356 is less than, that's the less than symbol. So 6,356 is less than 6,378. So let's go ahead and take a look at those guided practice questions that we have for this lesson. For number 1, which place value or which place do you use to compare the number 60,618 or 60,647? So over here, they're not asking you where you start looking. They're asking you which digit do you actually get to compare at. So the 10,000 for both of these is a 6, so we'll ignore that. The 1,000 is a 0, we'll ignore that. The hundreds place is also both a 6, we'll ignore that. Now, which place value are we at when the numbers finally start being different? We've gotten to the tens place value. So the smallest place value is the ones, the one right next to it is the tens. I compare the tens place. Why? Because that's the place value. That's the first place value that's different. Morocco has a total area of 442,300 square kilometers. Uzbekistan has a total area of 447,400 square kilometers. Use greater than, less than, or equal to compare these two areas. So what we're going to do over here, first, I'm going to line up my numbers on the side. 447. Oh, wait, 442. 300, and then 447. 400. And I'm going to go through exactly what I was doing before. Look at the digits, wait, keep crossing them out until I get to a digit that's different. So now over here in the thousands place, I see that I have a 7 in one of them and a 2 in the other. That's it. I stop right here because I know 7 is greater than 2. So over here I can say 442,300 is less than 447,400. Now I've compared the two areas. So I used what I knew, I lined up my place values, and I did my comparison. Now it says for 3 to 7, complete by writing greater than, equal to, or less than in each one of the circles. So we'll do the same thing over here. A 2 in the thousands place, that's the same. A 6 in the hundreds place, a 4 in the tens place, and a 3 in the ones place. These have all the same digits in the same order, so those are equal to 62,519 or 64,582. So the sixes are the same. The place value that's different is the thousands. So we know since this one has a 4 in the thousands and this one has a 2 in the thousands, this one's going to be the number that's greater. So the way I read this is 62,519 is less than 64,582. I went a little bit closer so that you guys can see our numbers a little bit more clearly. Now next we have 218,701 and 118,692. Now we can start from the biggest place value, and we'll see right away that this has a 2 and this has a 1. So I can stop right here. I already know that's greater. This next one, 32,467, comparing it to 32,467. So 3 in the 10,000s, 2 in the 1,000s, 4, 6, 7, those are all the same. We know those are equal to each other. The next one we have is 19,219 and 19,209. So they both have the 19. They both have a 2. This one has a 1 in the tens place, but this one has a 0 in the tens place. So I know this one is greater. So remember, you don't go past. As soon as you get to a digit where they're different, where the values are different, that's where you stop. That's where you make your comparison. Now, as you work your way down into your independent practice, you'll have several questions that are asking you the same thing. You're just working on comparisons. Towards the bottom, it's asking you write which place value or write which place you use when comparing the numbers. So over here, you're going to be doing what we were doing on top. Mark off the ones that are the same, and then tell me which ones you're going to compare at. So for example, for number 13, I'll do this one with you real quick. 3s are the same. This second digit right here is different. There's a 9 in this one, and there's a 2 in the one under it. So this place value is the 10,000s. So over here, you're going to put 10,000s place. Or you could write it out with words and say the 10,000s. For this one, you're looking at it, the 6s are the same, the 7s are the same, the 1s are the same. And then you get to the last digit over here. And this is in the 1's place value. That's how you're going to be completing that. You're going to work on these questions all the way through number 27. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.